Which military uniform do you think is the best today, if until recently we were far behind the United States? As soldiers of the future, equipped with various gadgets, this is no longer a utopia, but the true reality. In terms of creating a separate unit from a fighter, the US Army was carrying the palm for a long time. But the time has come, and the Russian armed forces now have something to oppose it. Let's sort it out. What is it? Welcome, this is New Soldier, and here we go. The base of the battlesuit is a uniform. The soldier's comfort in his life, it all depends on the qualities of the battlesuit. Without proper disguise, he will be doomed to be put into danger. The conditions of a model battle put forward their demands, and it's seen clearly in the Americans' experience. The United States Army has been continuously conducting peacekeeping operations around the world for half a century now. Most often, countries with tropical climates, Colombia, Panama, Vietnam, were lucky here. Therefore, the main camouflage of the United States Army infantrymen was tropically colored. And this moment was a real challenge during operations in Iraq and Kuwait, where the bright green color on the form had no practical value. On the contrary, it turned the soldiers in. That's why in the early 2000s a special desert camouflage was developed, 3-color desert and 6-color desert. However, the fact of its appearance did not cancel the forest color. Soldiers simply had to carry the second set of uniforms with them. They never knew where they would be sent the next day. Having realized all the inconveniences of this situation, by 2005 the Pentagon developed and adopted a new set of uniforms, Army Combat Uniform, ACU. Unlike its predecessors, it was designed for desert terrain, 3 and 6 colors in the pattern, and was also designed for tropical and forest areas. Camouflage is made in 3 versions: the basic, fireproof and insect-proof. An ACU kit includes a jacket and trousers, as well as a helmet, a cap, t-shirts and a combat boots. But, again, there is a rub. This uniform is not suitable for fighting in cold climate conditions. What do you think? Will this play into our country's hands if anything happens? Tell us about your ideas in the comments. Let's continue. And what was happening to the military uniform in Russia at that time? In the Russian armed forces, the uniform has changed drastically over the last decade. Instead of overcoats and cotton wool jackets left over from the Soviet times, the Russian army has transformed for the better. Russian troops, starting from 2012, have been equipped with a new uniform, the all-season basic uniform kit, VKBO. As it can be seen from the name itself, it is designed for possible climate zones, from the cold north to the heat of the southern regions. The uniform includes 23 items, from winter and summer socks to a second jacket and a vest. This makes the Russian soldier having one set of uniform, independent of the special clothes supplies. As you can see, while Americans were trying to make their uniforms more suitable for participation in various military operations around the world, mostly in warm countries, the Russians were working on the development of uniforms in terms of layering. That is, they started with an assumption that the same set of clothes would allow a soldier to serve in all climatic zones of Russia and in all weather conditions. The VKBO is designed for use at temperature ranging from -40 to +15 degrees Celsius. And for temperatures above the maximum, a special summer suit was designed. In this uniform, the soldier feels comfortable when it rains or it's windy, since there are special technological solutions for any kind of weather. For example, laminating the fabric with a membrane or special water-repellent treatment. In addition, as mentioned above, the fabric of the shape is impregnated with a special formula that scares insects away. The VKBO is made in the camouflage of single color, familiar to the Russian army. It's known by its name Cifra, a numeral. It replaced Flora in the early 2000s and has already recommended itself. What's your opinion on the VKBO's kit? Share your opinion about it in the comments, and we'll continue. And now we'll talk about protection means. The military men are always of constant risk, and ordinary infantrymen are more likely to be threatened on the battlefield than anyone else. That's why, since the 80s, the American army has been concerned with protecting the infantry, first of all from shrapnel and various bullets hitting the soldiers. For 23 years, from 1980s to 2003, in the service of the US Army, There was a personal armor system for ground troops. It's an armor kit that consisted of vests and helmets. In terms of their resistance, both components were equal and could protect a soldier from a piece of a mine or grenade weighing 1.04 grams, flying at a speed of 620-650 meters per second. And this was not the limit. Due to the improvement of materials, it was possible to achieve the resistance in the range of 710-750 meters per second. However, new technologies have already been tested on other copies. The PASGT helmet in the troops greatly replaced the Model Integrated Communications helmet, which later was replaced by the Advanced Combat helmet, still in service of the US Army today. Its distinctive feature was the reduced area of protection and the absence of a visor. It was assumed that the strength can compensate for these shortcomings. The improved vest is called the improved outer tactical vest. On the contrary, it has increased area of fragment protection. It also provides a system of quick plate replacement and the ability to install side armored elements without additional modules. All the tricks of the American were useful, but not enough, because the expert of the DuPont Test Center in 2015 recognized the Russian Armed Forces armored helmet, the 6B-47, the best lightweight helmet in the world. At the same time, we should do justice to the Americans. The Russian version is ready to provide shrapnel protection at only 630 meters per second. At the same time, it does not need 9mm bullets from a Makarov gun at a distance of 5 meters. And that's while 6B-47 is an average 300 grams lighter than its American opponent. On the other hand, the Russian General Armored Vest 6B-45 loses the competition in terms of resistance. It is able to protect against shrapnel at a speed of no more than 550 meters per second. But if you want, you can use its assault version with armored plates of higher class. Although the base of the Russian Armored Vest has nothing to do with Kalashnikov AK-74 rifle bullets, M16A2 rifles, AKM rifles and SVD rifles fired from 10 meters distance. We've talked about protection means in different episodes, one way or another, but today we would like to ask you, in your experience, which means are the best at the moment? Comment about it, and we are going on. Communication on the battlefield is crucial today, and while this used to be at the level of hulls, divisions, battalions and miles, now every soldier is equipped with a transmitter. So, the American military supplied with a special gadget, tactical communication protective system. This device, in fact, is active headphones that allow you to communicate in the rumble of battle, block the noise from explosion shots louder than a certain number of decibels, and even allow you to hear frequencies that are inaccessible to the human ear. The price of the device is about $2,000, so it's not mass-produced. For the same 2000, but already in rubles, there is a Russian analog, headset GSH-0101. Compared to the American one, it loses a bit in compactness, which however does not prevent its effective work. Russian earphone noise reduction can operate for a day from a simple battery at a temperature of -30 to +55 degrees and almost 100% humidity, suppressing noise up to 115 decibels. To help the soldiers, the Strelets Sagittarius reconnaissance complex has been created. It provides target designation for artillery and aviation, a communicator that supports GLONASS and GPS systems, and even a video module for shooting from hideout. Modern science helps to use weapons more effectively. In the US Army, the most common devices are Advanced Combat Optical Gun Sight, ACOG by Trigicon. They are designed to fire at medium range from 400 to 800 meters and can be installed on all major rifles. Typically, the magnification of various ACOG variants varies from 1.5 to 6 times. The Russian Armed Forces also use a variety of different sights: Valdai PK-120, 1P-76, PKU-2, EKP-1CO3 Cobra and others. All of them are not inferior, and in something, for example in weight or duration of work, are superior to their competitors. The highlight of the Russian armed forces at the moment is the Shahin sight, the only uncooled thermal sight fully developed in Russia. It allows detecting and distinguishing the target and aiming at it with a magnification at any time of day and in any weather conditions. It has a magnification factor of 3.6. It is not surprising that it was included in the Ratnik set, the latest version of the Russian equipment, which has already been called a set of a soldier of the future. By the way, we have already talked about it in the video called Ratnik, Soldier of the Future. If you missed it for any reason, make sure to take a look. New soldier wouldn't recommend anything wrong. The set includes several other types of thermal imaging sights, and even day-night sighting system for small arms, consisting of 1P 87mm sight, 1PN 138 night monocular, 1P90 sight tube, and 1K241 laser designator. In general, for a long time in NATO countries, especially in the US and the UK, there has been a tendency. More than 60% of all military purchases are directed to the individual protection of soldiers, especially scouts, infantry, engineers. That is, all those who are directly involved in combat operations. In this case, the experience of NATO countries, where the development of equipment has always been important, is exemplary. In Russia, however, historically, since the time of Tsar army, the issue of military equipment has been of secondary importance. That is why the infamous shoulder-back scissors could be observed in our army for almost 100 years. In general, the creation of future-oriented sets of combat equipment in the history of the Russian armed forces is one of the most protracted and painful topics. Work on such equipment began back in Soviet times. Attempts to create a single universal battlesuit for professional soldiers in modern Russia have not ceased since 1993. During this time, companies have prepared a lot of ready-made kits. Some of them were even acquired by the military in batches. But it is still difficult to see them on ordinary soldiers. Everyone has heard about the sets of modern combat equipment, Bamitsa, Pemachka, Ratnik, but the volume of their supply to the army is ridiculous, and the military has its own claims to them. The cost of weapons and equipment of a modern American infantryman have reached $17,442 or more. This is almost 10 times more than during the Second World War and the Vietnam War. In terms of current prices of $1,981 and $1,941 respectively. Currently, the US Army continues to work on weight reduction, as well as work to make it comfortable to wear. Today, a large number of commercial firms is working on this issue and constantly demonstrating something new. That's it. But you always can add something in the comments, and one of your comments maybe will be the topic of a future episode. Please take part, and with your help we'll get more interesting. And in order not to miss new episodes on the New Soldier channel, click the bell.